Hi Nicole! This video is coming to you straight from my shiny new computer! Yay! It's so pretty. I wished you could see it, but since the camera is, in the computer, that'd be kind of hard, so I'll just have to tell you what it looks like. The back cover and the part where the keyboard is, clearly I don't know computer terms, but those are both this really pretty turquoisey blue, and then there's pictures of these blades of grass and these flower things, which are really more like white puffballs, but they're really cute, so I love it. And Julio always accuses me of picking out my electronics and my cars and basically any big purchase solely based on the fact of whether or not they're pretty. And I can see how that would be a bad thing, but personally, I believe that we should all surround ourselves with as many pretty things as possible, right? Plus, you know that I break every piece of technology that I touch anyway, so I really don't see the point in buying, like, the most expensive, nicest model if I'm only going to destroy it. Oh, speaking of, how long do you think this computer will last me? I'm taking bets. So I wanted to take the computer around and give you like this tour of the house, but I think I'm going to save that for another time when it's actually daylight out, because I think that would work out better. But you can see behind me over here one of my lovely bookcases, and over on this side there's my couch and another little bookcase, and this glass behind me that is actually reflecting the light, and I think that's me in the corner there. That's kind of creepy, but that's my entrance to the back porch, so it's really kind of nice. I do kind of love this house, but it's Florida. But I will take you around and show you everything, especially my room and my giant bathroom and walk-in closet, because they're kind of amazing. I'll show you all of that next time, I promise. Plus, you're gonna see it all yourself in like 2 months, sort of. Not even 2 months, so that's exciting. Anyway, I do have a lot of topics I'd like to discuss with you tonight, so let's get started. Wait a minute, did you make popcorn? Did you? Maybe you should, because clearly I'm as entertaining as a movie, right? Right? I probably shouldn't have made that face, but anyway. Alright, first up is why Nicole should read John Green. Wait, is this going to be backwards when you see it? Probably. Lame. But whatever, at least I had props. I clearly put a lot of effort into this video, and I expect you to do the same in yours. So anyway, I'm pretty sure I've mentioned John Green to you before, and not just when I was telling you to watch the Vlogbrothers, but when I first read his books, which was just recently. But I don't remember really what I said. So the biggest selling point is that his books are smart. His writing's smart, and his characters are smart, and it's really just fantastic. And what do you know? Being smart makes him funny. Hilarious, in fact. So I could probably come up with an actual list of reasons why you should read his books, but instead I think I'm going to let his books speak for themselves. So I really can't decide whether Looking for Alaska or Paper Towns is the most epic, but I'm just going to read you a little bit from the beginning of Looking for Alaska. And you better not fast forward me, because I am an awesome reader. So, this is Looking for Alaska. And all that happens at the very beginning is this boy who's really kind of nerdy and has no friends goes off to boarding school for the first time, and he meets his roommate, and him and his roommate are talking. So his roommate says, "And don't call me Chip, call me the Colonel." I stifled a laugh. "The Colonel?" "Yeah, the Colonel, and we'll call you, Pudge." "Huh?" "Pudge," the Colonel said. "Because you're skinny? It's called irony, Pudge. Heard of it? Now, let's go get some cigarettes and start this year off right." He walked out of the room, again just assuming I'd follow, and this time I did. Mercifully, the sun was descending toward the horizon. We walked 5 doors down to room 48. A dry erase board was taped to the door using duct tape. In blue marker it read, "Alaska has a single." The Colonel explained to me that, 1, this was Alaska's room, and that 2, she had a single room because the girl who was supposed to be her roommate got kicked out at the end of last year, and that 3, Alaska had cigarettes, although the colonel neglected to ask whether 4, I smoked, which 5, I didn't. He knocked once loudly. Through the door, a voice screamed, "Oh my God, come in, you short little man, because I have the best story." We walked in. I turned to close the door behind me, and the colonel shook his head and said, "After 7, you have to leave the door open if you're in a girl's room." But I barely heard him, because the hottest girl in all of human history was standing before me in cut-off jeans and a peach tank top, and she was talking over the colonel, talking loud and fast. "So first day of summer, I'm in grand old Vine Station with this boy named Justin, and we're at his house watching TV on the couch, and mind you, I'm already dating Jake. Actually, I'm still dating him, miraculously enough. But Justin is a friend of mine from when I was a kid, and so we're watching TV and literally chatting about the SATs or something, and Justin puts his arm around me, and I think, oh, that's nice, we've been friends for so long, and this is totally comfortable, and we're just chatting, and then I'm in the middle of a sentence about analogies or something, and like a hawk, he reaches down and he honks my boob. Honk. A much too firm 2 to 3 second honk. And the first thing I thought was, okay, how do I extricate this claw from my boob before it leaves permanent marks? And the second thing I thought was, God, I can't wait to tell Tacomi and the colonel. The colonel laughed, and then somehow the colonel talked me into paying $5 for a pack of Marlboro Lights I had no intention of ever smoking. He asked Alaska to join us, but she said, "I have to find Takumi and tell him about the honk." She turned to me and asked, "Have you seen him?" I had no idea whether I'd seen Takumi since I had no idea who he was. I just shook my head. "All right, meet you at the lake in a few minutes then," the colonel nodded. So that's the end of my scene, and it's fabulous, right? And if you heard that like buzzing right at the end, that was a text message. I probably should have turned my phone off, and what do you know? It's from you. You are probably at your concert right now, and if you're asking me again if you should invite some guy, I'm going to be very mad at you. But if you're telling me that I was totally right and because you're alone, boys came up and talked to you because they weren't afraid, then props for me. But I'm going to pause this video because I'm done with this section anyway, and I'm going to find out what you said. Okay. So next topic, Heart of Dixie. God, I love Rachel Bilson. I thought she couldn't get much better than Summer Roberts, but Zoe Hart is pretty freaking awesome, right? And Wade is hot. Duh. Also, I really instantly hated Lemon, and I couldn't understand how they would ever develop her into a not horrid character, but she's actually kind of growing on me. When she's not being so uptight, she's actually pretty funny. But that's really all I have to say on the show, and I hope you're still watching it, because if you are, this week's Planksgiving episode was awesome. So I found this awesome website, tattoolit.com, which has pictures of people's literary tattoos. Now, other than being made of awesome, this site made me actually kind of think of a few things. One, someone had a tattoo of Invincible Summer, and then they put the actual Camus quote underneath it, which, you know, is what my tattoo on the back of my neck is. And anyway, the wording was kind of different than in my tattoo, and I've seen it written a lot of different ways, so it suddenly drove me crazy, and I looked it up online to see if I could find the actual text it came from. And first of all, I found out the essay it came from is called Returned it to Pisa, but it was worded differently there too. So I don't know why I never thought of this before as an explanation, but suddenly it dawned on me. And forgive my cliche, my advisor has me achingly aware whenever I use those. But anyway, what I realized is that it's written differently in lots of different places because Camus' writing is translated from French. Duh. I don't know why I didn't realize that before, but I don't know. So apparently I don't have a Camus tattoo. I have a translation of Camus tattoo. And I don't know, I actually think that's pretty cool. Now, I'm certainly not claiming to be the first person to start thinking about this, but I like the idea that things can be translated differently. And I think it goes back to just how things can be interpreted differently, even if there's no actual language translation happening. I don't know, I just like it. I think that's pretty cool, and I like the idea that, like, somebody can write something and it can mean one thing to someone and then another thing to someone else. I like that. And two, I was reading through these amazing words and looking at these beautiful tattoos of these amazing words, and it just like inspired me to sit down and work on my own writing. And I started hoping that like someday I would write something amazing enough that somebody would want to permanently get it tattooed on their body. And you know, that's not as crazy as it sounds, because sure, most of these tattoos on the site were quotes from legends like Shakespeare and Vonnegut and Kerouac, but not all of them were. I scrolled through like 10 pages of pictures, and just in that little bunch, I found two different quotes from Looking for Alaska. How cool is that? And I also found one from a Sarah Dessen novel. Now, we both know that I worship her, but she's clearly not as famous as, you know, those other guys. So I just think it's so cool that, like, her words meant enough to someone that they got them as a tattoo. Basically, so my point is, can you please tell me that someday I will write something that's so amazing and that will mean enough to someone that they will want it tattooed on their body permanently. Please tell me that. Because, you know, being immortalized in print is one thing, but being immortalized on skin, that's pretty freaking cool. Also, when I was reading Camus' essay, Return to Pisa, I came across the most incredible line. Ready for it? For there is merely bad luck in not being loved. There is misfortune in not loving. Seriously. I just love those words. When I read this, I got this feeling that I honestly don't remember ever getting when I first read or heard something. Like, the words just stopped me right there, and it really hit me, which is also a cliche, but I don't know, it was just like I got it, and I'd been waiting to hear those words or something. I don't know, I mean, maybe that's kind of lame, but I don't know, I really instantly like felt something from reading that. I even wrote it down on these dry erase circle things that I have all sticking on my wall next to my desk here. I think I look like an idiot waving my arms around like that, but I wrote it down so I could just kind of look at it, and it makes me happy. See? Okay, that was really awkward, and I probably shouldn't have tried moving my computer like that, but whatever. And you can ignore the extra writing around it because that's just notes for my books, and I'm neurotic. But the quote is awesome, and it even has a semicolon, which is awesome punctuation, right? But yeah, I mean, I'm just in love with these words, and you know what? I thought I would share it with you because I think you really need to pay attention to these words too. Don't ever stop loving. Cheesy, yes, but isn't that what I'm always telling you anyway? So yeah, and also, I don't know, but I get this feeling that there is misfortune in not loving might be a future tattoo of mine. We shall see. Okay, so there was some more things I wanted to talk to you about, but I think I'm reaching like 15 minutes or something, and I'm pretty sure that's the YouTube video limit. Plus, you're probably sick of listening to me talk. So, I'm just going to save some things for next time. As a little teaser, one topic will be the joys of online dating. Anyway, I don't really know how to end this. Oh, yes I do. One really quick story. The other day I was in the car, and I don't remember what I was talking about, but it was with my whole family, and me and Julio were in the backseat talking about something, and something reminded me of Reese Witherspoon and the, you know, the Cruel Intentions face. So I don't know why, but just I made the face at Julio, and, you know, he looks at me like I'm crazy a lot when I do a lot of weird things, but this time he You look pretty terrified, like you wanted to jump out of the car to get away from me. But anyway, doing the face reminded me of you, so I'm gonna do the face for you and say goodbye. I can't believe I'm actually posting this video on the internet for anyone to see me do that. Goodbye, Nicole. I can't wait to hear your video.